The Descent is directed by Neil Marshall, and it's revolving around a group of 7 women who are going on a massive cave expedition, and they slowly start to realize that they're being stalked by a group of horrifically cannibalistic cave dwellers. This film is chilling to the core and immersive in every way, between its gore and its pure sense of claustrophobia that you get throughout the runtime of this film. And although the acting performances in this film are really solid, this is not the type of film that really needs character development. You don't really need to care for these characters to be purely terrified by this film, because it largely revolves around its atmosphere, its cinematography, and its really suspenseful story at its core. And in that sense, this film delivers. Although they do spend like the first 20 minutes introducing these characters, which is quite a bit of time, but they do pick up the story significantly from the point on where they're jumping into the cave. It doesn't let up. It's very fast paced and is so suspenseful, as I said. By far the biggest positive with this film is the cinematography. The way the camera will angle specifically towards someone's face as something is happening, but not actually showing what's happening to them, and just leaving it up to your imagination, it makes you feel so uncomfortable, but it's so effective. You just have to sit there and watch their reaction to it. And when they actually do show you real gore, it's so disturbing that it just sends chills down your spine. It makes you tighten up and grit your teeth. It's that effective. And in general, when they're like crawling through the caves and the camera is just slowly moving and progressing as though you're crawling there with them, it's so immersive, and it gives you a sense of claustrophobia and sends chills down your spine. The camera work in general in this film is just so clever and effective. And I also love the fact that they only use natural lighting during these cave scenes. Literally all you get is the headlamps and the flashlights. You don't get any artificial sources of lighting, so it gives it such a realistic tone and really immerses you into the film because you actually feel like you're there. This entire film is so effective from a cinematography standpoint. I cannot stress that enough. This is generally a very well-paced film, as I said. From the moment on when they actually dive into this cave, it doesn't let up. It doesn't give you a single moment to breathe. You constantly feel on edge, not only because of the excellent cinematography, but in general because of the really great claustrophobic thrills they bring in. And there's such a great buildup of suspense to it. By the time that they actually introduce these cave-dwelling creatures, it feels so earned, and it's so effective and terrifying. And the practical effects they use to make these cave dwellers look real, this is easily some of the best costume design I've seen in film. And while this film is definitely brilliant, I do have some issues here. For one, the use of false jump scares is just ridiculous. Just in the first 15 minutes of this film alone, they have 2 "it was just a dream" scares, and it really takes you out of the moment. It kind of takes you out of the horror of it. And then in the second act, there's 2 more false jump scares. When there's already such a buildup of suspense and atmosphere to it, the false jump scares just take you out of it, and it kind of takes away from the pacing too. There's also a particular scene where the characters literally just stop to give a recap of what happened and to explain everything that the audience has already caught on to. It was very condescending and out of place within the film. It took away from the suspense and the pacing, just like the false jump scares do. And I may sound a bit too nitpicky here, but I can't let these issues slide. They do take you out of the moment. And I'm not going to go into spoilers, but the ending was awful. It was way too convenient and unrealistic. And it's the type of ending you'd find in the alternate endings on the Blu-ray of the film, but actually being put into the finished project. But as far as issues go, that's about it. This is a brilliant masterpiece of horror, and I'm giving The Descent a solid A-. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.